Um, what if the path to genuine inner peace actually requires you to, embrace your most vindictive, toxic thoughts first? It sounds completely counterintuitive, but welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're exploring an ancient text that makes exactly that case.
Yeah, it really does.
Our mission today is to analyze the English Standard Version of Psalm 69, and this is a text attributed to David and directed to the choir master, quote, according to Lilies.
Right. And we're going to look at this not just as a historical document, but as this really raw, unfiltered map of extreme human emotion.
Definitely. We're tracing a fascinating psychological progression here from total despair through intense anger and then, finally to hope.
And what makes this text so valuable is that it completely rejects the modern idea of toxic positivity. I mean, it essentially argues that you cannot reach spiritual or mental clarity without first wading through the absolute ugliest parts of your own psyche.
Okay, let's unpack this because the opening really does not hold back at all. The author immediately drops you into this visceral drowning metaphor. He cries out that the waters have come up to his neck.
Right. And that he's sinking in deep mire where there is no foothold.
Exactly. When you read that, it feels exactly like the modern sensation of total psychological overwhelm, when you're just drowning in your own life, especially when he claims the people who hate him without cause actually outnumber the hairs of his head.
Yeah, that physical drowning imagery is doing very specific psychological work here. It represents profound social isolation.
Hmm.
The text explicitly points out that he has become a stranger to his own brothers. He's an alien to his mother's sons.
Wow.
He's the subject of gossip at the city gate, and drunkards are literally making up mocking songs about him.
That is just brutal.
It is. And the tragic irony he highlights is the actual cause of this isolation.
Hmm.
His devotion, his, quote, zeal for your house, is exactly what has brought this public reproach down on him.
So his absolute loyalty is rewarded with a total alienation. Yeah.
And that pushes him to a breaking point. He looks for comfort, but gets exactly the opposite. He says his enemies gave him poison for food and sour wine to drink.
Right.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Because the tone violently shifts from a sad, desperate plea for help to full-on curses.
Hmm.
And I have to push back here.
It's jarring, yeah.
Right, it's supposed to be a sacred text, but he literally asks for these people to be blotted out of the book of the living.
Hmm.
How do we process this sudden burst of anger?
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychological mechanism behind those curses. He's not just indiscriminately lashing out, he's demanding mere justice.
Mere justice.
Yes. Notice the specifics. He was just given poison for food, so he immediately asks for his enemy's own table to become a snare and a trap.
Oh, wow.
He wants their eyes darkened and their camps left completely desolate. This extreme vengeance is actually a symptom of extreme vulnerability.
Ah, okay. So when you have lost all social protection, these terrifying curses act as like a psychological shield. Precisely. He's pouring out his indignation to try and regain a sense of control in a world that feels completely unjust.
But does that actually work? Because jarringly, right after he demands they be wiped from the book of the living, the text pivots again. Suddenly, we're at spiritual clarity.
Right.
He vows to praise God with a song. How does he bridge that massive gap between pure hatred and praise?
I mean, it's the emotional exhaustion. He essentially purges the toxic rage, and exhausting that anger is what clears the mental fog.
That makes a lot of sense.
And notice the profound realization that follows here. He claims this honest, vocal thanksgiving will please the Lord more than sacrificing an ox or a bull with horns and hoofs.
So, wait, he's saying that raw, messy honesty beats empty, performative ritual.
Yes, exactly. By elevating an honest, broken heart above standard sacrifices, he paves the way for the text's final, hopeful promise.
Right.
Because he reached that spiritual clarity, he can confidently state that God hears the needy. The text then zooms out to this sweeping vision of restoration.
Right, that God will save Zion, build up the cities of Judah, and ensure the offspring of his servants will inherit it.
Yeah, and that they will dwell securely.
It's such a heavy, fascinating cycle for you to process. It perfectly mirrors the messy human process of navigating despair, wading through your own unfiltered rage, and only then arriving at true gratitude.
You simply can't bypass the swamp if you want to reach solid ground.
Absolutely. Leaving you with this to ponder. In the landscape of human emotion, is expressing your darkest, most unfiltered anger sometimes a necessary step? Is it just a phase you simply have to cross before you can ever hope to arrive at genuine hope and restoration?